Last day of school. Carletta was a sophomore at the all-girls school, and it was the last day of school before the summer holidays. She was excited to go on vacation with her family and friends, and was looking forward to the break from the stresses of school. Her best friend Christy was sitting next to her, talking about their plans for the summer. Christy had twin sisters, Christiana, who was also in her class. Suddenly, their teacher, Mrs. Anderson, clapped her hands and said, "Okay, class, pop quiz." The class groaned, and Carletta and Christy exchanged glances. They had studied hard for the final exams, but they hadn't expected a surprise quiz on the last day of school. Mrs. Anderson handed out the quiz papers and instructed the class to begin. Carletta and Christy worked diligently on the quiz, but they were soon distracted by the antics of some of the other students in the class. Christopher, Camilla, Clara, Caroline, nicknamed Caro, Claire, Clara's twin, were all writing songs and arguing about the answers to the quiz. Cinderella, Cindy, Cinderella's triplet, Celestia, Cinderella and Cindy's triplet, Cora, Chelsea, Chelsea's twin, Celsie, Chelsea's twin, Chase and Callie were all trying to escape the classroom and go outside. Mrs. Anderson was getting increasingly frustrated with the disruption, and she threatened to call the principal if no one settled down. Carletta and Christy, who had managed to stay focused on their quiz, were relieved when Mrs. Anderson finally announced that the pop quiz was over. The rest of the day passed without incident, and Carletta was relieved when the bell finally rang, signaling the end of the school year. The students all said their goodbyes and went their separate ways, but Carletta and Christy stayed behind and hugged each other tightly. They were so excited to start their summer holidays and couldn't wait to make the most of it. The two friends set off to explore the world, and they had the most amazing summer of their lives. As Carletta and Christy walked out of the classroom and into the bright sunshine, they chatted excitedly about all the fun things they were planning to do over the summer holidays. They both loved the ocean and had made plans to spend some time at the beach with their families. As they walked towards the school gate, they saw Christiana and her family waiting for her. They waved goodbye to each other and promised to keep in touch over the break. Carletta and her family had planned a road trip across the country, and she couldn't wait to see all the different sights and landmarks. She had always been fascinated by history and was looking forward to visiting museums and historical sites. Meanwhile, Christy had enrolled in a summer camp that focused on outdoor activities like hiking, kayaking, and rock climbing. She was an adventurous person and loved the thrill of trying new things. As they said goodbye, Carletta and Christy promised to write letters to each other and share all their summer adventures. They hugged each other one last time before heading off to start their summer holidays. As they walked away, Carletta couldn't help but feel grateful for her wonderful friend and the memories they had made together over the school year. She was excited to see what the future held for them both, and couldn't wait to share all the exciting things in store for her when they returned to school in the fall. Carletta and Christy made the most of their summer break and created unforgettable memories. Carletta's family trip across the country was filled with adventures and new discoveries. They visited landmarks like the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, and Mount Rushmore. Carletta was fascinated by the history behind each landmark and enjoyed learning about the different cultures and traditions in each state they visited. On the other hand, Christy's summer camp experience was nothing short of thrilling. She tried new outdoor activities like whitewater rafting, bungee jumping, and zip lining. Christy had always been an adrenaline junkie, and the camp was the perfect place for her to explore her adventurous side. As the summer break came to an end, Carletta and Christy kept their promise of staying in touch. They exchanged letters and pictures of their summer adventures and couldn't wait to catch up on each other's experiences. When school resumed in the fall, Carletta and Christy were excited to see each other again. They eagerly shared stories of their summer break and caught up on all the gossip. They were grateful for their friendship and looked forward to making more memories together throughout the school year. During the first week of school, Carletta and Christy were thrilled to discover that they had both taken up new hobbies over the summer. Carletta had joined the school's debate team and was excited to participate in her first debate competition. Meanwhile, Christy had started a photography club and was eager to share her newfound passion with her friends. As the school year progressed, Carletta and Christy continued to support each other in their hobbies and shared many new experiences together. They attended each other's events and competitions and even collaborated on a few projects. Despite the occasional stress of schoolwork and exams, Carletta and Christy's friendship remained strong. They continued to make memories and have adventures together, always looking for new ways to explore their interests and passions. As they approached their senior year, Carletta and Christy reflected on their journey together and felt grateful for their strong bond. They knew that no matter what the future held, they would always be there for each other. During their senior year, Carletta and Christy became even closer as they navigated the challenges of college applications and preparing for their future. They spent countless hours studying together and supporting each other through the stress of exams and deadlines. As graduation approached, Carletta and Christy reminisced about their journey together and all the memories they had created over the years. They were nervous about the future, but excited to see where life would take them. On graduation day, Carletta and Christy walked across the stage together, proud of all they had accomplished. They hugged each other tightly, knowing that this was only the beginning of their journey. After graduation, Carletta and Christy went their separate ways to different colleges, but they remained in touch and continued to support each other. They visited each other on breaks and shared stories of their college experiences. Years went by, and Carletta and Christy both graduated from college and started their careers. They continued to stay in touch and remained best friends, even as they started families of their own. As they looked back on their journey together, Carletta and Christy realized that their friendship had been the one constant in their lives through all the ups and downs. They were grateful for each other and the memories they had created, and they knew that their friendship would last a lifetime.